I want to take just a couple minutes and talk about the how MTSS is supposed to look here at Pittsburgh Public Schools, right? And first, I want to talk about the side that is the work of the PLC and how our PLCs can support our MTSS work. Okay, so I'm just going to show you all of this. The district has it kind of crazy. Okay, so what this demonstrates is, kind of the steps of our PLCs according to the four guiding questions. What do we want students to learn? How will we know when our students have learned it? How will we respond to students who have not learned? And how can we extend learning for students who are already proficient? And these are the questions that are on our PLC agendas, and we ask them and answer them all the time. And you'll notice up here, it starts with the standards, with unwrapping the standards, creating those learning targets, and allowing the standards and the targets to help us create our plans, our lesson planning, right? Then we screen for our prior skills, we pre-assess, we begin the tier one instruction, and includes all that formative piece where we check for understanding, we do prevention and differentiation strategies. Then we assess, we give the formative assessments, the common formative assessments, and then we analyze the results and see who needs more differentiated instruction, who needs extension, um, who might be tier 2 and 3 kids that need more individualized learning, right? And then we repeat that process, right? At the end of the process or the end of a unit, we give summative assessments and we analyze that data, right? To see if students are in more need of supplemental interventions and extensions, right? And then all the students move on to the central standards, and then we start that loop all over again. So that's kind of how our PLC work connects to MTSS. When we plan our instruction after we've unwrapped the standards, we deliver the instruction, we use our formative assessments to decide which kids need more supports. We use the summative data to decide where to tier kids, and then we continue that good work. This is the district's official MTSS triangle, and I hope that all of you can see it, and I'll have handouts for you to follow along. This is a really important document because if you see on the left are the academic supports and interventions that are available in the 3 tiers, and on the right, the behavior supports and interventions. And like I mentioned previously, our academic supports, especially on the ELA side, are pretty good. We can always get better, and we want to continue to get better, but they're pretty good. On the behavior side, right, you'll notice that we have a lot of tier 1 stuff in place. Our PBIS is in place, restorative practices is in place, right? The positive behavior support system, school-wide, Falcon tickets and all that good stuff is in place, right? We don't really have this social emotional learning guide, and that's something I want to talk with all staff about, hopefully today and in the future. But we also, if you look at the tier 2 and 3 supports, some of it's repeated, right? Some of it we do. We really need, this is where I think we really need to do some work. Coming up with a menu of interventions on our own, being as the district really doesn't provide a whole lot of supports interventions. I mean, you see student assistance program and check in, check out, restorative practices. We do all of that. We don't have like some of these resources like aggression replacement training and having school children cope with anger. Those are resources that we've asked for and don't really have a lot available, or we haven't been trained, or we haven't been provided those things. And so this is something that I think as a school we can continue to talk about, these types of interventions and supports for our students who are getting high referral rates or just are displaying problem behaviors.